op-amp circuits, summers and filters, how to add and filter voltage signals using op-amp circuits. In a previous lesson, we analyzed these closed-loop op-amp circuits, buffers, inverters, inverting amplifiers, and non-inverting amplifiers. Here we'll examine 3 more closed-loop circuits, an inverting summer, where we add and invert 2 signals, with and without amplification, a first-order active inverting low-pass filter, and a first-order active inverting high-pass filter. For each case, we'll give an expression for output as a function of input, and we do only the simplified analysis here, where we assume a huge G, where you should recall that G is the op-amp's open-loop gain, typically 1,000,000 or more. Let's look first at an inverting summer. Its purpose is to add and invert 2 or more voltage signals. Here we show only 2. Notice that the inputs are on the inverting side of the op-amp, while the non-inverting input is grounded. In this simplified case, the 3 resistors are identical. Here's the simplified circuit analysis. We use Ohm's law across these 2 resistors, giving these 2 equations. And we use Ohm's law again across this resistor. The final equation is that V out is the negative of the sum of the 2 input voltages. And that's why we call this an inverting summer. It sums and inverts, where in electronics, invert means change sign. We can easily extend this to N voltages by adding more voltages here, each with its own resistor. The final expression for V out is shown here. Now consider an inverting summer with amplification. Its purpose is to add, invert, and amplify 2 or more voltage signals. This is the same circuit as previously, except we allow these 3 resistors to be unequal. Resistor RF is called the feedback resistor. Here's our simplified circuit analysis. Again, we use Ohm's law, and the simplification is that Vp equal Vn, which is 0. And I'll show the final result for N input signals rather than just 2. V out turns out to be the negative of the quantity of each voltage input multiplied by the ratio of resistors. So each voltage input has its own gain, which is the ratio of the feedback resistor to the resistor associated with that input signal. So GI is negative RF over RI for each one of these input voltages. Now let's consider a first-order active inverting low-pass filter. That circuit is shown here. Its purpose is to attenuate high frequencies while inverting a voltage input. The input voltage goes through resistor R1 and into the inverting portion of the op-amp. The non-inverting portion is grounded, and the feedback loop contains resistor R2 and a capacitor C in parallel. Alert students will recognize this circuit as an inverting amplifier with an added capacitor. I won't show the derivation, but you can look back at our analysis of low-pass filters and do similar analysis with complex impedances. It turns out that if the 2 resistors are equal, the gain is identical to that of the passive low-pass RC filter, but with a negative sign. And the cutoff frequency is identical also. But note that we use resistor R2, the one closest to the capacitor here, in the equation for cutoff frequency. Sir, would we get the same output if we put a passive RC circuit in series with an inverter? That's right, Sean. The passive RC circuit would give us the gain, and the inverter would give us the negative sign. So the net result is identical. Thank you, sir. You're welcome, Sean. Now let's look at a first-order active inverting high-pass filter. Its purpose is to attenuate low frequencies and invert the input signal. The circuit is similar to the low-pass filter, except that instead of the capacitor being up here, it's now in series with resistor R1. Again, alert students will recognize this as an inverting amplifier with an added capacitor. Again, without showing the derivation. And for the case where R1 equals R2, we get the same gain as we had for the passive case, except for the negative sign, and we have the same cutoff frequency. But note that R1, the resistor closest to the capacitor, is used in the equation for the cutoff frequency. Again, we could generate the same output with a passive RC filter and an inverter in series. What about phase shift? Well, this was the phase shift for the passive RC low-pass filter. For the active case, the phase shift is identical to the above, except that the output is also inverted, which you can think of as an extra 180-degree phase shift. So here's the equation for phase shift. But note that this is the total phase shift, which includes the negative sign from the inverter. So if you use that, be careful not to double count that 180-degree phase shift. High-pass filters are similar. Here's the phase shift for the passive case. And for the active case, we add 180 degrees. But again, be careful not to double count that 180 degrees. In summary, we analyzed closed-loop op-amp circuits for an inverting summer with or without amplification, a first-order active inverting low-pass filter, and high-pass filter. And in all these cases, we can also adjust the resistors to amplify as well. All the cases we discussed here use inverting op-amp circuits, which results in a negative sign or a 180-degree phase shift. Non-inverting versions of these circuits are also possible, but inverting circuits are more common, and we'll discuss why in an upcoming video lesson. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. 1, 2, 3. That's all there is to it.